Well, the New York Times has finally come to the conclusion that, wait a minute here. Hold it. We might need to reassess who our friends are. Except it doesn't say that New York Times needs to reassess. It says Washington needs to reassess who our friends are as Islamicists gain influence. In his first major speech last night, Mohamed Morsi, the new Egyptian president, quoting the New York Times, pledged to seek the release of a notorious Egyptian terrorist from a North Carolina prison. Not long before that, a member of the designated terrorist organization, who also happens to be recently elected member of the Egyptian parliament, was welcomed to Washington as part of an official delegation sponsored by the State Department. Think of this. The Obama administration officials made no public comment on Mr. Morsi's promise and struggled to explain why the Egyptian parliament member got a visa citing privacy rules and declining to say whether it had been granted a waiver from the ban on such visitors or whether his affiliation simply escaped notice. It didn't, by the way. Pressed by reporters after the visa quickly became a congressional controversy, State Department spokesperson said Mr. Eldon had been judged to pose no threat to the United States. It's a new day in Egypt, she added. It's a new day in a lot of countries across the Middle East and North Africa. For the Obama administration, it navigates the tumultuous effects of the Arab Spring. Notice the tumultuous effects now of the Arab Spring. It's a complicated day as well. Long-held assumptions about who is a friend of the United States and who has not been has been upset, leaving many Americans confused. Right now, the United States is in kind of a trance when it looks at the Middle East, says the chairman of Islamic Studies of American University. Everything has changed. Yes, it has. In Tunisia, once banned Islamist party won a plurality. Say it, Pat.
Plurality.
Thank you, Stu, of seats in the elections last year, and Islamists have won new support in Yemen as well. Libya appeared to buck the trend when a coalition of moderate political scientists seemed to edge out two Islamist parties. It goes on to say, basically, we might be on the wrong track here. We might be on the wrong track. Well, no, duh. You got to be kidding me. Who would have seen that one coming? By the way, a new Muslim cleric in England with a group called the United Muslim Nations International has released a new 23-page pamphlet called The Global Islamic Civilization, The Power of a Nation Revived. This 23-page booklet, a lot of people will dismiss, do not be one of them. The 23-page booklet calls and outlines the plan for the reestablishment of a caliphate. In the 23-page booklet, it explains its goals, quote, Christianity should be destroyed and wiped from the face of the earth. It is an evil, demonic, and antichrist system. All Christians are in complete ignorance. The only true religion is Islam.
How can Christianity be antichrist?
I don't.
Interesting.
Today, as I breathe the air of our newly found Islamic State of America before my trip to Arabia, I leave behind me an international Islamic ideology which will be the future of America and Europe. This is happening here in the United States and in England, and our president is in bed with these people. I'm not saying that he's a Muslim. I'm saying he's in bed with Muslim terrorists. How's that one? No one will report it. And you know why? Because they'd have to point out the facts around that one. And the New York Times is already on the facts. We had a Muslim terrorist meet with our president. And our president is now meeting with the head of the Muslim Brotherhood from the new president of Egypt, and he has called for the destruction of Israel. He has also called for the reestablishment of the caliphate with its headquarters, its global seat of power in Jerusalem. And our president has invited him to the White House. The president is knowingly involved and in bed with Muslim extremists and terrorists. Print that one. They won't. because they'd have to explain how this guy is not a Muslim extremist. All of his record shows, all of his recent speeches show it. This will be the second terrorist affiliated leader from Egypt invited into the White House and meet with White House officials and our president. Second one. Bad. We will not last 2 terms with this man. We will not last 2 terms.